I had a little bit of an encounter with a fairly prominent vegan activist online through some Facebook comments. They run a project. They've got a Facebook page and everything, and they post quite a lot of intersectional stuff and talk about anti-oppression and so on. And they were trying to co-opt, and I'm leaving out names here for a good reason. They were trying to co-opt the original definition and ideas and comments and quotes from the vegan founders, talking about the liberation of animals, and talking about this idea that, I think there was a quote from Leslie Cross, which said that humans will be liberated in heart and mind from our focus on animal liberation. And they use the word, Leslie Cross used the word liberation, but I feel that liberation changed meaning halfway through the 20th century. Roughly 1969, a guy called Herbert Marcuse, one of the prominent radical leftists whose philosophy really contributes to the mood of the day. So he came up with this idea of repressive tolerance, that views on the left, actions on the left are always justified, no matter if they're shrouded in violence, and anything from the right should be immediately discarded and should be repressed. So that idea of tolerance, you need to be intolerant of intolerance from the right especially, but anything on the left is fine, no matter if you're using violence. And Herbert Marcuse came up with this idea of liberation, which is a liberation from the system of capitalism, of the liberal order. And those people that I was talking about, of that project, the vegan activists, they were trying to co-opt Leslie Cross's definition of liberation to fit Herbert Marcuse's definition of liberation, to say that the vegan founders were intersectionals, which absolutely just baffled me, really.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do a video on this soon. Did Donald Watson and Leslie Cross talk about how veganism will benefit mankind? Like, no, that patriarchal language there they used. Yes, they did, because it will. It will. If you stop murdering and committing a systemic holocaust on a daily basis, of course that will have good effects on the society that was doing that. Of course that will help us if we move past being oppressive murderers. But intersectionals are acting like they had, like Watson and Cross, had their specific political views. Donald Watson was born in like 1910 or something, maybe even earlier, might even be like the late 1800s. How many genders do you think Donald Watson thought there were? There's we could go into these other things, like, what do you think Donald Watson thought of abortion? As far as I'm aware, we don't know. Maybe he thought it was abhorrent. I don't know. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he was pro-choice. Maybe it's pro-life. I don't know. But the thing is, it's just as you say, they are co-opting this to mean that they were intersectional, and that they would have had these very specific political views. In my opinion, if Donald Watson was alive today, he would be something like, well, he'd be well into his hundreds, right? I mean, he died, I think, in the 90s, when he was like in his late 90s or something like 100 years old or something like that. He was very old when he died. If he was alive today, he might think a lot of the stuff that's going on is fucking crazy. He might be like, what the fuck is all this stuff? I don't know what half of these words mean. They'd be calling him a cis white male and stuff. It's, what the fuck is this? But intersectionals, once again, are acting like he would share their beliefs and stuff. How would they know?